Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's promotion ceremony, honoring Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Timothy Steele. I am Michael Menke, your narrator for today's ceremony. We are very pleased to have Colonel Retired Harley Hammond, United States Air Force, to officiate today's ceremony. We also welcome Reverend Craig Mueller, Director of the Ministry to the Armed Forces of the Lutheran Church, Missouri Synod, and Chaplain, Captain Retired United States Navy, who will give a special presentation. Finally, please allow me to extend a special welcome to the Steele family. Timothy's wife, Alexis, his daughter, Eliana and Isabel, and his sons, Michael and Gabriel. And a warm welcome to all of you here at Messiah and watching online. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem by Isabel Steele.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Isabel, thank you so much. What a great day for the Steele family. What a great day for Messiah Lutheran Church. What a great day for the Air Force. I would like to thank again, Chaplain Mueller, thank you for being here. I would like to thank our chaplains from Fort Bragg and Fort Pope for being here. Thank you all for being here in the sanctuary and those online. Thank you very much. Now, we all know Pastor Timothy as well as our pastor, but we only see him every once in a while in uniform, and we know he goes away every once in a while. But I thought I might take just a couple of minutes to go over some of his career. And I found out just this morning, from Alexis, that he actually was 17 years old when he started in the Air Force. 1992, He enlisted in the Air Force. He was a computer operations specialist, IT, information technology guy. And you know what? We still get some benefit out of that today. We still do. He did that for 8 years. In 2001, it was kind of a big year for Chaplain Steele. He entered the chaplain's candidacy program. He also went to officer training school and became a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. He went to the Concordia Seminary in St. Louis, and in 2004, he was ordained as a minister in the Lutheran Church, Missouri Synod. So then is when he began his career as both a civilian minister as well as a military chaplain. He served, his first church was up in Maryland, where he was serving the civilians. And then in 2005, he started his military sport at Andrews Air Force Base. That's just across the river from Washington, D.C., over in Maryland. Then in 2009, 16 years ago, he moved his family down here to Wilmington, North Carolina, and became the pastor here at Messiah Lutheran Church. And a year later or so, he started his military work down at Shaw Air Force Base, which is in Sumter, South Carolina. Now let's see. After Sumter, he went in 2012 is when he went out to the United States Air Force Academy. That's in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I think he liked it out there because he spent 9 years doing that. All right. Then in 2021, he became a chaplain for the Global Strike Command, which is at Barksdale Air Force Base in Shreveport, Louisiana. And then right up until May of this year, he transitioned to the Air Force Reserve Command, which is at Robins Air Force Base over just outside of Macon, Warner Robins area in Georgia, where he just came back from. All right, so very good. That's kind of the big picture of his military career assignment-wise. In these documents and citations and letters that we're going to read, we're going to talk about more of his military career. But I'd like to say something else about his minister capability. He's our pastor, Pastor Timothy, here at Messiah Lutheran Church, and every Sunday he knocks it out of the park. I am telling you, he preaches the Word of God. He preaches the gospel of Jesus Christ like nobody else. He is phenomenal, and we gain great. I mean, he's preaching to each and every one of us every Sunday in words that you can understand and you can take home and use in your everyday life. And that's outstanding. I'm honored to be up here with you today. Thank you for that. The Air Force has seen how good he is at this chaplain thing. And this ceremony is proof of it as he's being promoted to colonel in the Air Force. So I've been asked to read a letter from the Air Force Reserve. He's the command chaplain from the Air Force Reserve Command, Colonel James Danford. Okay, he writes, "Dear Messiah Lutheran Church, first, please accept my apologies that I cannot be with you in person. I wish I could be there to celebrate this important achievement in Chaplain Steele's life and career. I am proud of the work that he has done and honored to call him a colleague and friend. Second, welcome to our Air Force Reserve Command Chaplain Corps team. Because of Chaplain Steele's new role and efforts here, you are now an extension of our mission to inspire the spirit of the warfighter through religious accommodation, spiritual fitness, and leadership advisement. Thank you for supporting Timothy's new role at Robins Air Force Base as he assumes this new position. I appreciate the flexibility of his time and efforts to increase the effectiveness of our team. His ministry in the Air Force will now detail the advisement of the commander of the Air Force Reserve Command on religious, ethical, and quality of life issues, supporting chaplain corps ministries at Air Force Reserve Command units, managing manpower and personnel matters, education and professional development, ensuring force readiness as it relates to the recruitment, functional management, and training of approximately 100 unit chaplains, 100 unit religious affairs airmen, 350 IMA chaplains, 92 IMA religious affairs airmen, and 100 chaplain candidates. In fact, he has already re-envisioned our IMA training and been a mentor and instructor to our chaplain candidates as they were training this summer. While the list of duties is long, my appreciation to share with us, your pastor, is greater. We are proud of his promotion to colonel, and he is ready to assume his responsibilities. One of my promises to you is to return him to you after every duty as a better leader and chaplain. With heartfelt thanks, Chaplain Colonel James Danford."
Reverend Craig Mueller, would you please come forward to present the Bronze St. Martin of Tours Medal? Bronze St. Martin of Tours Award. The Office of International Missions of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod has authorized its ministry to the Armed Forces Committee to give special recognition to pastors who have provided exceptional ministry to military personnel. The Bronze St. Martin of Tours Medal is presented to chaplains who have given extensive pastoral service to military personnel, normally 20 or more years, either on active duty, in the reserve components, or in the Civil Air Patrol. An award in the name of St. Martin of Tours is particularly appropriate for Lutheran chaplains. As a young man, Martin of Tours, who was born in 316 AD, served as an officer in the Roman army. One day, he encountered a poor beggar shivering from the cold. Martin drew his sword, cut his military cape in two, and covered the beggar with one half. That night, according to tradition, Christ appeared to Martin in a dream, wearing the half of the cape he had given to the beggar, and allegedly spoke, "Martin, a mere catechumen has clothed me." Martin eventually became a cleric, founded a monastery, and over the years his piety and devotion to Christ became so well known that he was installed as the Bishop of Tours, France, by popular demand. Following his death, the remaining half of Martin's cape became an object of veneration. French kings had the cape carried into battle and prepared a tent-like portable shrine for it. In Latin, the shrine was called a capella. The priest was given responsibility for the capa, and the capella was called the capellanus. It is through the derivation of these terms that we now have the English words for chapel and chaplain. Consequently, since medieval days, Martin of Tours has been identified with those who serve as military chaplains. For Lutheran chaplains, however, Martin of Tours has an additional significant connection. On November 10th, 1483, Hans and Margarita Luther of Eisleben, Germany, welcomed the birth of a new baby boy. Following the custom of the times, they had their infant baptized the following day. Since November 11th was the date the Christian Church traditionally remembered and honored St. Martin of Tours, the baby was named Martin Luther. It is most appropriate, therefore, to give tribute to Lutheran pastors who have given so many years of dedicated service to military personnel with an award whose name recalls these two historic defenders of the Christian faith. I now read the citation to accompany the award. In recognition and in gratitude to God for his over 20 years of distinguished service as a chaplain in the United States Air Force Reserve, Chaplain Steele's ministry of spiritual leadership and pastoral care impacted the lives of all those he served. Chaplain Steele has always exhibited professionalism, pastoral skills, and selfless devotion to duty. He continues to bring the eternal hope in the gospel of Jesus Christ through his witness, preaching, counseling, and pastoral care to all. In awarding the St. Martin of Tours Bronze, we, the Lutheran Church, Missouri Synod, commend to Almighty God our deep thanksgiving and heartfelt praise for the gift of Chaplain Timothy Steele. Signed on this date, Craig G. Mueller, Chaplain, United States Navy, retired.
Thank you. Congratulations, brother. Appreciate it.
Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal, 3rd Oak Leaf Cluster to Timothy C. Steele, Chaplain, Lieutenant Colonel, Chaplain. Lieutenant Colonel Timothy C. Steele distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as an IMA to the Deputy Command Chaplain, Air Force Global Strike Command, from 1 October 2021 to 31 May 2025. Chaplain Steele's leadership filled the gap for the Office of the Air Force Global Strike Command Chaplain through a 90-day, 100% turnover. Additionally, he commandeered 1,000 MPA days, which enabled a 25% surge and prevented critical shortfalls command-wide. Moreover, Chaplain Steele ensured readiness by exercising the first pivotal AFSTRAT wartime ministry plan, which integrated a new Joint Command standard for Bomber Task Force missions and secured spiritual readiness for 208 task force members. Furthermore, he blueprinted a concept of operations which synergized Air Force Reserve Command, Air Force Global Strike Command, and wing resources, alleviating risks and ensuring religious accommodation for 33,000 airmen. Finally, Chaplain Steele engineered a tool to track assignments and experience levels, forecasting personnel gaps, and raising the recruiting rate of experienced chaplain corps members. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Steele reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Please rise for our promotion ceremony. We will now proceed with the promotion of Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Timothy Steele. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Lieutenant Colonel Timothy C. Steele. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in higher grade, Lieutenant Colonel Timothy C. Steele is authorized to assume the grade of Colonel, United States Air Force, effective the first day of August 2025 by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Steele family, please come forward to help pin on your husband's and father's new rank. Eagles have been popular symbols in our and other military services at least as far back as the Romans. Colonels wearing eagles as a rank insignia in 1829 started using this symbol when they transferred the gold or gilt eagles that decorated their hat to their collars. After 1831, most of the colonels wore silver eagles on their gold epaulets or gold-bordered silver straps. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Hammond will now re-administer the oath of office to Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Steele.
Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Timothy Steele,
Having been appointed a colonel
having been appointed a colonel
in the United States Air Force,
in the United States Air Force,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
which I am about to enter,
which I am about to enter.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Colonel Timothy Steele.
Have a seat, have a seat. Thank you so much. Just in time for the pour. I'll make this quick. First of all, thank you to Reverend Craig Mueller, chaplain, captain in the Air Force. When I was working at Scott Air Force Base, we worked at Transcom, which was a joint command, and there'd be many Navy guys. And they'd call up, and I'd have to answer the phone as an IT guy. And basically, they would say, this is Captain so-and-so. Well, you have to be careful. Because in the Navy, a captain is an 06, where in the Air Force, a captain is an 03. So be very careful to know which branch you very well respect. So, Chaplain Captain Mueller, thank you for presenting this medal in person. You could have done it through mail, first class, and we could have done it differently, but you took the time to come here today, so thank you so much. To these two fine gentlemen up here, okay, these two Air Force officers. Yes, I'm surrounded by Air Force officers today, Harley and Michael. Thank you for your professionalism. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Thank you for making me feel loved within the Air Force here today. Thank you to my family. My mom is here today. Total shocker that she showed up. She ding dong. Yeah, glad you didn't ditch it. She came in on Friday evening, did not know, and I opened the door and I'm like, what are you doing here? I think that was the first thing I said. She comes from Wisconsin today. So thank you so much for being here, and you're the reason I am in this thing called the Air Force. There was one point in time where I was enlisted and I was done with the Air Force. I kind of hit rock bottom. You gave me a talk, and you're like, just keep it up, just keep it up, just suck it up and do it. And here I am today because of that. So thank you so much. Alexis, Eliana, Isabel, Michael, Gabriel, thank you for supporting me the long summer years that I was away. I am thankful that you missed me. And I came home to excited children that was ready to welcome me back. Thank you for allowing me to do this. And I do it honoring you guys. Okay? And to my wife, Alexis, you have been the rock, okay? You've held it together in so many ways. Thank you for always being there for the family. Thank you for going through the hard times with me. And thank you for never giving up. Okay? We got many more years ahead, and I love you. And of course, thank you for my church. You're here because, or I'm here because of you. And you have made this journey in the Air Force a remarkable one. I represent you every single time I serve, and I do it with great privilege and honor, and I shine Jesus for you to as many troops and as many armed forces personnel that I can. So thank you for allowing me to do this, and this rank, this cross, is you guys. So thank you so much. Thank you for all of you.
Please stand for the tradition of ending Air Force ceremonies by singing the Air Force song.
We go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, soon to meet our wonder. Father, now, give 'em the gun, give 'em the gun. Out we dive, stopping with fame from under. Off they run, hell of a roar. We live in fame, we'll die in fame. Hey, nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please proceed to the Fellowship Hall for a reception while we give the Steele family time to take photos. You can offer your congratulations to them when they join you at the reception. Once again, thank you all for attending today's ceremony.
Good to be seen.